The James Show Podcast.
Hear that extra noise? It's because we're live from Whiskey and Rye. It is the lobby bar in the Omni Fort Worth Hotel. We're across the street from the Fort Worth Convention Center, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit because I want to get to our top story of the day. Another ICE shooting. So in this one, I'll let Fox News do the heavy lifting. Bill Malugin was on the scene, and he was on the phone, and he just got the report from DHS right in his hand, and he's reading it back to the Sean Hannity show last night. And I want to play this before I play you any other reaction or any other comments on it, because you got to hear especially the part about the shovels.
DHS says at 6:50 p.m. Central Time tonight, quote, federal law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted traffic stop in Minneapolis of an illegal alien from Venezuela who was released into the country by Joe Biden in 2022. In an attempt to evade arrest, the subject fled the scene in his vehicle and crashed into a parked car. The subject then fled on foot. The law enforcement officer caught up to the subject on foot and attempted to apprehend him when the subject began to resist and violently assault the officer. While the subject and law enforcement were in a struggle on the ground, two subjects came out of a nearby apartment and also attacked the law enforcement officer with a snow shovel and broom handle. As the officer was being ambushed and attacked by the two individuals, the original subject got loose and began striking the officer with a shovel or broomstick. Fearing for his life and safety as he was being ambushed by three individuals, the officer fired defensive shots to defend his life. The initial subject was hit in the leg. All three subjects ran back into the apartment and barricaded themselves inside. The attacked officer and subject are both in the hospital. Both attackers are in custody. This is another attack. This attack on another brave member of law enforcement took place while Minnesota's top leaders, Governor Walz and Mayor Frey, are actively encouraging an organized resistance to ICE and federal law enforcement officers. Their hateful rhetoric and resistance against men and women who are simply trying to do their jobs must end.
Okay, so that's what happened last night, and then you turn on the TV. If you were watching that, they had a live shot while Bill Malugin's reading this report, and they're shooting fireworks at the cops. They're shooting fireworks at the ICE guys who currently had some house barricaded off, and so they have like a phalanx, so they make a perimeter or whatever cool guys say in military situations. I don't know. But, I mean, these weren't like chucking sparklers and black cats. They were like artillery shells, and it was like big exploding puffs of... Every single one of those guys should get the January 6th treatment. Every single one of those guys, we need to go track them down. If you chucked fireworks at a cop, like in the middle of doing his job, not like you were at a 4th of July parade and you just got in your way, they need to do the same thing they did with January 6th. Go find them all. Go track them down. We'll use cell phone data, whatever we got to use. We'll go get you. We'll go throw you in jail and put the max sentence, whatever we can, on you. Because that's the only way this stops. Does anybody really fault the ICE officer who shot a dude after he was getting beat with a shovel by him and two other guys? You're going to protest that? You'll just protest anything. You're just out to protest. It doesn't matter what happens. You've already got your marching orders. We're going to be upset. And we're going to go mess some stuff up. Here's a sad scene here. CNN was doing some live broadcasting 2 days ago. And a protester goes to interrupt and finds out at CNN. It's like, oh, yeah, you're on our team. I'll let you go. Did you hear this one?
A smaller crowd. This is controlled. The scene spans several blocks. We are here at Portland Avenue and East 35th, but it goes at least 2 or 3 blocks.
Who are you? Who do you work
thank
for?
you. Hold on. I'm sorry. We're with CNN. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you for your help. I'm sorry. I think people are getting upset. So that is the latest here on the ground, guys, and I'm going to send it back to you.
Yeah, real counterculture revolutionaries there. Wait, are you the independent private citizen journalists that are actually uncovering fraud, or are you the corporate puppets that are hiding everything and showing no interest in uncovering fraud? Oh, you're on our team? Okay, we'll leave you alone. Yeah, y'all are real rebels over there. Real rebels. Good for you. Sad news in the reaction to the other ICE shooting. The father-in-law of Renee Good was on CNN, and they're trying to get him to react. They're trying to get him to say something bad about Trump, I guess. But, I don't know, he was a lot more chill about it than I think I would be.
Well, you know, I'm a Trump supporter also, and Renee was an amazing person. I mean, she's full of life, full of joy. I mean, real gentle, a good mother. I just think, we make bad choices, and, that's the problem. There's so much chaos in the whole world today. And that's what the Bible says. If my people would humble themselves and seek his face and pray and turn from our wicked ways, God will hear from heaven and forgive our sins and heal our lands. And that's what we need to do. We need to turn to God and walk in the Spirit of God and let him lead us and guide us.
You know, I'm so impressed by these people that after someone close to them gets killed in one of these tragedies, they can just be so calm and call for peace. I don't know if I would do that. You know, you ever had anybody close to you die? I get really angry. I don't know if I would want to go on CNN. It'd probably be a bad idea for me to go on CNN. I'd give them a piece of my mind, especially after they prod him. They're trying to get him to blame somebody. Well, who do you blame then? Do you blame Renee? Do you blame the ICE officer? Do you blame Trump? Do you blame ICE? And you're saying I don't really blame anybody.
Well, I'm not blaming anybody. I mean, it's a hard situation all the way around. It's hard for for everybody involved. I mean, the ICE agent, at first I didn't see the footage where, he was actually, he was actually being ran. I mean, I seen the bump of the car hitting his legs. And so in a flash like that, it's hard to say how you would react. From my understanding that he had been through that before, maybe dragged or something. And so, like I said, it's just a hard situation for everybody. Becca, she's a great person as well. I mean, I don't have any many enemies. I love everybody, and that's what the Bible tells us: love our neighbors as we love ourselves. But I think there's some bad choices, and the word says, "For the wrath of God will come upon the children of disobedience." And it's I don't blame ICE, I don't blame Rebecca, I don't blame Renee. I just wish that, if we're walking the Spirit of God, I don't think she would have been there.
Coming up next, Macy Hill, a Fort Worth City Councilman, or Councilwoman, I should say. My guest, Macy Hill. Is this your district?
It's not my district.
Your district's right over there with Dickey's Arena and whatnot?
Mm-hmm. I have the cultural district.
Cultural district.
Yes.
All right, so you have what may be the busiest district.
I think I do, probably.
Because I'm going to be there doing the James Show on Monday from the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo.
It's the busiest season right now in that side of town.
But I read something yesterday that I did not know. Will Rogers Auditorium is booked all but 5 days a year?
That's 100% correct.
What's the real schedule for it? Because I don't know if they were exaggerating, because I know it can't be booked every day of the year, but...
No, it's really true. So the next 23 days will be rodeo, and then everything after that is everything from concerts to recitals, mostly equine events. That really takes up the majority of our year.
Equine events?
Correct.
We don't call them horses anymore? You sound so formal.
Well, okay, so let's talk about National Cutting Horse Association, Reining Horse Association. We have the Grand Prix, the World Cup for FEI, which is dressage and hunter jumper. So huge variety.
Now, you mean we do have horses where the saddles don't have horns on them?
We have some of those too.
We do that? I thought you had to go up north for that. I wouldn't brag about that, but my dad is a big fan of cutting horses, and they have the futurity here.
We do, yes.
That's the biggest thing. For those of you who don't know, in the cowboy world, that's the biggest cutting horse. That is the championship, isn't it?
It is.
Is that what they call it? Yeah. But my dad used to watch that. And for those of you who don't know, cows, they want to be in a herd, and cutting horses go and take one cow out of the herd, and they don't let it back in, and so there's this whole ballet dance where the cow's trying to rejoin the herd and the horse is cutting it off. And it looks like, to the outside world, because I'm not much of a cowboy, I just grew up on a horse ranch, it looks like they're just being really rude to the cow.
Pretty much. You let the horse do its business, the rider just holds on, and they win big money.
Yeah, because the cow's I want to join my family. And the horses are no. And the crowd cheers, and they love it. They're screw you, cow. You'll get to see your mom later. We're enjoying this. Next big question for Macy Hill, Fort Worth City Councilwoman. Is Fort Worth going to get one of these sports teams? Because Stars and Mavs have both talked about leaving the AAC. I heard the Mavs are kind of flirting with Frisco and Plano. Why not Fort Worth? Y'all have a big enough population to sustain it. You have a nice little downtown. You have a nice arena. Why not get one of those teams?
Great question. I think that's the elephant in the room right now, actually. We've done really well with professional sports, with the rodeo, for example. We have professional bull riders and cowgirls and rodeo clowns, and we talked about National Cutting Horse Association as well. I mean, they bring in at least $120 million each in economic impact, but we don't have the tax burden right now of having a professional team. So it's kind of a win-win for us. A little different model than Dallas and our other partners to the east.
Yeah, I guess you don't want them if you have to pay them off, because that's how Arlington gets them. Here's $640 million. Here's just a bag of money. Will you move to Arlington? Of course. Yeah, you don't want to do that. All right, so let's get into some ugly stuff, and this will probably be easy for you, but it's not very flattering for the neighbors over in Dallas. Why is this downtown so much nicer than Dallas is? Why? There's not as many homeless people. The crime rates is 1/11 of what Dallas is clocking right now. What's your answer for that?
tell you what, as the 11th largest city in the United States, we've done an excellent job with private-public partnerships. I mean, as we look outside, Whiskey and Rye faces Houston Street, you really see a clean neighborhood. It's because we have taken the time to put together partnerships, whether it's the private companies, private individuals, but working to make sure that we're providing a clean space that's attractive for tourists. I mean, as you know, the Stockyards now is probably one of the number one tourist attractions in the United States, and we've done such a great job of promoting it, but making sure that it's safe. And we have one of the best police forces in the United States, in my opinion. People are there for the right reasons. They are there to make sure that we're safe, and public safety has been really, I think, for this city council and our mayor, number one priority.
The streets seem to be a little bit better, too. Is there an answer for that?
We really just focus on the essentials. We're here to make sure that our tax dollars are going to pay for things that are expected. So you want to be able to drive without hitting a pothole every 5 seconds? Well, we want to make sure those potholes are filled.
Well, where's Fort Worth going to be in 10 years?
Oh, gosh, that's a great question. We have seen incredible growth even in the past 3 years that I've been on city council. I just see it continuing to grow. We're going to continue to grow west, continue to grow north, and how we manage that, I think we just have to be very pragmatic and business-minded about how we use our resources.
Any chance it's not a top 10 city in 10 years?
No chance.
Yeah, right. All right, Macy Hill, Fort Worth City Councilwoman, what's in your future? What are you doing next?
Well, right now I'm happy where I am. City Council, it kind of checks all the boxes for me. I feel like I'm making a difference. Tough times ask for tough leaders, strong leaders, and I feel like we have that right now. And I hope I'm serving my constituents well, making sure their tax dollars are spent wisely, providing those essential services, and supporting our police and fire. All
right, we're with the Whiskey and Rye Bar in the Omni Fort Worth Hotel. It's happy hour. What's your first drink you order?
Ooh, I'm red wine.
That's your default drink?
That is.
What if I had to force you into a liquor? Or do you like vodka, whiskey?
Vodka.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably the choice for Miss Parker as well. So, I'm more of a bourbon guy, but that's an acceptable answer. All right, well, thank you very much. It was good to meet you. Maybe we'll have to have you on future episodes of The James Show. But there's not a whole lot of scuttlebutt that comes out of Fort Worth. Like, when's the last time y'all had a crazy scandal?
We try not to. We do our very best.
Right?
Keep our noses clean.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Macy Hill.
Thank you.
The James Show Podcast.